What would you say is the best part of being married?
Sex. Is that a real question?
Although I'm with you, that is probably ranked right next to being able to do everything together all the time. I love the little moments. I love being able to come home. Even though I just said I like to do my own thing, I do love to come home and be like, we get to hang out. We get to do whatever. I'm going to get to do the dishes and talk to you while I do the dishes.
Wow.
Is
there ever been a better answer from a man than that answer right there? Aiden?
That is called being married for 6 months.
They say that women want love and men want respect. How can a wife show respect for you?
I don't know how to answer it, to be honest with you.
What types of fears or struggles did you deal with while dating? And how did you overcome those to prepare for real commitment?
Should we get really serious again? My turn to get
Let's
super
get
duper serious?
Let's do it.
Okay, so
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast by Moral Revolution. My name is Ellis Madry, and today we have a super exciting episode prepared for you. I'm actually joined by 3 people here in the studio. They're going to introduce themselves in just a minute. But if you have been following along the last couple months, we've been in this series, which started by interviewing 3 single men with questions that were submitted by single women in our audience. Then we did vice versa, which was the 3 single women with questions submitted by single men in our audience. And the number one comment that we got when we released that episode was, okay, now we need you to do the exact same sort of episode with the same questions, but ask married men. We want to know how marriage shifts the perspective around singleness, around dating, and around how we should be approaching that in today and age. Wow, today and age. I just dated myself with that phrase right there. And so that's what we did. We brought in 3 married men for today's episode, and I am just going to have them go down the line and give us your name and how long you've been married.
my name is Aiden, and I have been married for 6 months.
My name's Daniel, and I have been married for a little over 4 years.
To me.
To you.
Do you still like her?
Love her.
Oh, great. I asked if you liked her. That's not the same question.
Yes.
Good
Was
answer.
that
Kind of a long pause.
My name is Cole. I've been married for 19 and a half years, and I still like her.
Whoa.
I even think she likes me still.
I don't think I
Now
realized
that's a
it was
miracle.
19 years.
It'll be 20 years in August.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
I'm only
Okay.
22, so you've been married for almost as long as I've been
almost
alive.
your whole life.
When
How's that
I'm
feel?
your age, I'll have been married 6 years.
That's crazy.
That tracks.
Okay, let's jump into this. But before we do, I feel like it's worth saying that we are coming from a Christian perspective. So we are speaking to single men and women who love God and who are looking for a spouse who, as Scripture would describe, is equally yoked. Just someone who has a full-on passionate relationship with Jesus, and they're looking for someone who has the same. So I think we can just assume that as a baseline as we move forward in today's conversation. But let's go through some just rapid fire questions just so we can get to know the 3 of you. My first question is this. Do you have any kids? If so, how many?
No kids.
That's great since you've only been married for 6 months. We like that answer, Aiden.
I did the math, and that is righteous. 1 kid on the way.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Baby boy on the way.
Hey.
That's right. That's right.
4 kids, 15, 13, 11, and 10. 15, 14, 11, and 10. We just had birthdays. We just had our birthday rounds together.
Rounds of birthdays.
4 kids in 5 years is what you're telling me.
4 kids in 5.5 years, yes.
Wow, that's impressive. How did you guys know that your wife was the one in one sentence, if possible?
I would say connection was easy.
High compatibility, and specifically she was the one because I married her.
I would say because our callings were the same.
What would you guys say was the hardest adjustment in your first year of marriage?
I would say for me, I really, in my single season, my single life, enjoyed when I would come home from whatever I was doing and nothing else going on the rest of the day. And that meant I got to do whatever I wanted to do with the rest of my time. And getting married does not mean you get to do whatever you want to do with the rest of your time, especially when you've been gone from the house all day and your wife is like, hello, you're home, let's hang out. I love hanging out with her so much. But it meant I got to now reevaluate how I balanced and how I managed my desire to do my own thing sometimes and also pursue my wife and hang out with her and how much I loved being with her. So, yeah.
Because I had spent many years single, independent, Doing fine.
That sounds like the beginning of an essay.
One of the biggest challenges for me was learning to communicate what I needed because I was so independent and sufficient just by myself, or so I thought. I was not used to communicating things that I needed, things that would be helpful, things that I desired. I kind of just wished you would know.
Read your mind.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. What was the hardest adjustment in your first year of marriage?
I would say probably similar to Daniel's. I wasn't like free for very long because we got married I was 22, but like having to have someone else pick up my clothes, I haven't loved that. That was an adjustment I'm still adjusting to. That's an ongoing adjustment. And then I would say, yeah, like learning to be responsible for someone else. Like I never knew how important it was to put the toilet seat down until I got married. Like lots of little adjustments like that. I'm like, I feel like the ground is a great place for my boxers when I'm done with them. That is not the case. Apparently, it's a horrible place for them.
All that has to happen is a woman has to fall into the toilet in the middle of the night in the dark one time.
That'll teach you quick.
But
those little habits, you don't realize how big those little habits are going to be.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's
huge.
I mean, those can start 4-hour-long fights, y'all. So, like that
4
was an
hours,
adjustment.
what a gift.
That's right.
It's days.
That's right.
Oh
true.
my goodness. Moving on. Who apologizes first more often?
Me.
Me as well. I'm with Aiden.
Ellis apologizes first more often.
And more effectively, I bet.
I said, I don't know, I'm a good apologizer, but I would say, we have talked about this offline, and I said, babe, the reason why it takes me a little bit longer to apologize is because whatever I'm apologizing for, I did very intentionally and with a good motive. And so I'm having to really deconstruct what got me there and own that part of it.
Nothing will teach you that your motives mean nothing like marriage.
So true. Man, the last time I apologized very quickly, I think this was in the last 2 weeks, Daniel said, now I need you to apologize like someone who actually feels something.
Totally. I mean, I would say that like Caitlin and I's, the understanding as I do, but I will say this, Caitlin has gotten much, much better at it. Like, so I don't know now today if I could answer that. I think we both have built that habit. Early on, I would say I did quicker, more effectively, with better words, with more emotion. And she's come along.
I would say too, there is some validity to the wanting to have some meaning behind sorry. Because I can easily just come and say, okay, I'm sorry, just because I want to be done with whatever we're arguing about. Super easy.
Yeah, that's true.
But does that actually mean that I know what happened, that I'm actually sorry for anything I might have caused, any hurt that might be caused by my actions? Or that I'm actually willing to change what I'm doing? Or does it just mean I want to be done arguing about this?
Is this consequence mitigation or is this real repentance?
Exactly, right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what would you say is the best part of being married?
Sex. Is that a real question? Did someone really ask that? That's obvious.
I have a different answer.
Okay, sorry.
Although I'm with you, that is probably ranked right next to being able to do everything, together all the time. I love the little moments. I love being able to come home. Even though I just said I like to do my own thing, I do love to come home and be like, we get to hang out. We get to do whatever. I'm going to get to do the dishes and talk to you while I do the dishes. And don't have to say goodbye. I think,
Wow.
she
Has
said the
there
same
ever
thing.
been a better answer from a man than that answer right there? Aiden,
That is called being married for 6 months.
I hope she knows what she has. I'll tell you that right now.
I think this is funny. I really like having a roommate because like I lived by myself for a long time. Having a roommate who's like your built-in best friend is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like
when
that
your
too.
clothes are off. Sorry, I wasn't done. When your clothes are off and
I like the connection and the heart and the best friendship. That's my favorite part of it. That's what I really meant. Thanks, guys. That's great.
Those things are all together in what you
It is.
said.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. Okay, moving into how marriage shifts men's perspective. So a lot of these were questions that were submitted specifically for the single men.
Okay,
And then
great.
these were some of the ones that we kind of like pulled out and we said, okay, married men, how does marriage shift this perspective? So let me start here. How much does physical appearance really matter when you're deciding who to pursue?
Great question.
I'll lead this one. A lot. You have to be attracted to who you're marrying. With the caveat, you can spend time with a girl that maybe you're not initially attracted to, and then it's almost like your eyes are opened and you're like, oh, like she is pretty attractive. She's pretty cute. So attraction grows, but I think physical attraction is very important.
Go for it.
I would agree. It's highly, highly important. Obviously, that's just kind of how I think men are. I think it's part of just being a man. But I also would say one of the things that I was really attracted to about my wife specifically, MJ, was not just that she was very naturally beautiful, but she placed high value on actually her appearance, not to the level of like, it's the most important thing. I always have to look good. But she actually took care of herself and made an effort to say, I want to take the time to get ready and be presentable, which I think was reflective of the kind of character in our life where she actually like pays attention to the little things in her life, where she wants to do things with excellence, even in how she looks.
MJ's a sweet nickname.
It's such a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Such a cool name.
Yeah. Am I allowed to be like really serious for a second?
Please do.
Yes.
I agree 100%. I think it matters a ton. I think it's also critical that we remember we're going to age together. And part of what's really important is to assess, and this is one of the things I tell dating folks, single folks a ton. You actually have to assess where your desires are coming from, though. That's really important in an age that has been so pornographically influenced. Because a lot of what we think is attractive or what taste we've developed may not be our natural taste. It may have been a very manipulated taste from what we've watched, what we've seen, what we've allowed ourselves to be entertained by. Caitlin, my wife, says the statement a lot, is we're trained by what we're entertained by. And there's a real psychological truth behind that what we consume in entertainment tends to actually become our training. And that becomes what we want, what we desire. We develop an appetite for what we most frequently consume. And so I would just encourage men to also, yes, you need to be attracted 100%. It matters a ton. Also, you may need to go through a season of mind renewal to make sure that your heart and your mind has been reset. Because if pornography has been an issue, or if pornography is an issue, or if you have a propensity to be highly entertained by movies with tons of sex scenes in it that are creating plastic versions of the real thing, if you have this Barbie doll in your head, that's likely put there from cultural conditioning, not natural desire. And it becomes really critical that you're not being attracted to a type, because if you are, because of the way you've conditioned, they're going to grow out of that type. And if you're so set on that, you're actually going to set yourself up for a ton of failure. And so I think that it's really critical to go, okay, I may need to go through a mind renewal process depending on what my pornography experience has been, or what I, even not outright porn, but what I allow myself to be entertained by, because I may need to go through a healing process before I even really know what I'm really attracted to.
I would even say more than porn, what shapes you on social media.
Absolutely.
Because if you are staring at, these influencers and creating that as the prototype of the kind of girl you want to be with, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this influencer is very beautiful, but maybe she's also one in a million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that might not be realistic for you. So
I guess my question would then be, if someone's listening to this and they go, yeah, maybe that's me. Like maybe I do have some unrealistic expectations, or I've been trained by social media or porn, or fill in the blank. Yeah. What would you say is the first step of that mind renewal process? Like where does someone start? This statistic honestly blows my mind a little. 89.5% of the people who watch or listen to this podcast regularly aren't yet subscribers to the show. So before we dive in, could I ask you one thing? If this podcast has ever helped you, if you care about honest, unfiltered conversations around God's design for sex, dating, and relationships, would you hit subscribe? It's free and it helps us more than you know. And our promise to you is this: we'll do everything in our power to make this show the best it can be. We'll take your feedback, we'll keep answering your toughest questions, and there's no conversation around God's design for sex and relationships that we'll shy away from. Thank you.
I mean, I think step one is change what you're entertained by, right? Like if you're a doom scroller, you need to really break that habit, because that's going to destroy, just about all of your relational ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you got to unpack it item by item, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm prone to being entertained by things that are pretty contradictory to the word of God as far as sexuality and relationships go, I literally have to go through, and this, unfortunately, this isn't a short process. You're not fixing this in 30 days. Mm-hmm. This is a journey where you go, I want to do what Romans 12, 1 and 2 says. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of my mind. It's an accountability structure. It's being in relationship and fellowship. It's a ton of confession and repentance. Yeah. It's getting lust under control. All of those things are really, really critical before you really are ready to be married, if you're going to do a till death do us part type of commitment that you mean. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to have to unpack those things.
I also think it's really valuable to begin finding things that you appreciate in what we would call an everyday girl. Where it's like maybe you've been set on this level of perfection that isn't, attainable or healthy or anything like that. And you can look around you and be like, maybe I've never noticed this girl before, but you know what? She's got really pretty eyes. Or I really appreciate her kindness. And so you start to gear your attraction palette towards really the Proverbs 31 type woman who has incredible character, and allow that to begin to define your attraction palette.
That's great.
I know we got more questions, but can I ask a follow-up to Cole?
Please.
So how can you tell the difference between I've been conditioned to think that this is attractive and this is actually what I'm naturally attracted to?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of it is some really deep awareness, right? Like, so when we were doing MR, I spent quite a bit of time of reading studies that people did that weren't Christians, because they do the best work. And they do stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, Christian counselor could not do that. But they actually began to realize that there's one story in particular. I remember this guy could not make love to his wife because she wasn't the hair color that he was watching in pornography. And he didn't connect the dots early on. He just was, I'm not attracted to her. And he started to blame it on an attraction thing. He began to realize, once he got really, really nitty gritty with his own heart, he goes, oh, I keep watching porn from the same person and they have a different hair color. And so that you have to really start to go, we have to unpack, where did we get this desire, which is a very hard, what can feel gross and painful journey. Because you're going in to some parts of things that have been built and developed that you try to ignore. Like, I don't really want to sit in this. Oh, I don't want to shame spiral. And, we have all of these things that we do to protect us. But really, I fear sometimes we're actually preventing obedience rather than preventing legalism.
Or honesty.
Or honesty. Right? And so it's like, I actually have to go and ask myself, where does this desire come from? And get really honest with myself. And it may take some out loud dialogue with somebody, because sometimes we need to speak it for our brain to unpack it and to detangle it. And so then you go, where does this desire come from? Oh, it comes from this. Like another example in this bucket is husbands that want their wives to do things sexually that the wife doesn't want to do. I'll a lot of times go, well, where'd that desire come from? And when they go back to the root, they saw it in a porn movie most often. Right? And so it takes a really big self-inventory to go, oh man, I'm going to have to go back and identify some places, some things that were planted that I didn't realize they were planted, and unpack those things and go, all right, Lord, I do need to come through a mind renewal process and go, Lord, I want this. Because I would even say, Daniel, you make a great point. What you see on social media or perfect, I think even further, it's not even perfection, it's fake. Mm-hmm. A lot of what we're looking at, it's not even real.
Right.
from whether it's a filter or a boob job or a butt job or whatever
Or just good photography.
or just good photography, like whatever it is, we're not actually looking at a real version of anything. So perfection is even funky because I'm like, well, is there actually a human like this, or did chat make this human for me?
Right.
So I
Especially
think those
now.
are really important things to unpack. Yes, attraction matters, but we actually have to re-purify our attractions.
That's so good. So I guess my follow-up to that would be, what would you guys say is the difference, or where's the dividing line between attraction and lust?
For me, I'd say lust is a purely physical feeling. It's a I want you, not like I actually want to be with you. It's just I want you. Like I want this idea I have in my mind of what you're going to give me. That's what I want that out of you. Whereas attraction is more like I'm drawn to you. So it's like I want versus I'm drawn versus like attraction is like I want to be around you. I want to hang out with you. I want to talk to you. I want you to think that I'm cool. I want you to see what I'm doing. I want you to like, I want to be in your circle versus just like, I just want you. And the thing is, when you say I want you, you're not actually saying you specifically. You're saying anybody who looks like you or I think is like you, or I think is like this idea of what you are.
That's a really great point. I think especially in the dating season of life, that the motivation behind lust is pleasure and selfishness. The motivation behind attraction, once again in this dating season, is intrigue and honor and respect and really and beauty, you know. And I think there's a purity behind that attraction, and it's not just, oh, she's hot, you know, this, you know, I want to have sex with her or something.
Well, and I think you see it at our first answer of what do we like the most. You know, obviously I joked and said sex. You guys said the right answer. But I think that's a really good picture of it, right? It is
Someone just got healed on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube.
you.
They were
Thank you
like,
for this
okay, we
podcast.
like him
Yes.
after all.
But there's a truth to it is true. Like you guys said the answer that's so true. Like I don't actually, like most Friday nights, I'm like, Kate's like, do you want to hang out with anybody? I'm like, no, I just want to be with you. Like there is this draw that's a heart connection where the sexual desire is actually a beautiful next part of connection, as opposed to I got to rip off your clothes. It's you're my best friend. I don't actually like anybody compared to how much I like you. Like if you're the picture of what I like, I don't like any other human. That connection
Bold
piece.
statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say for someone with my personality, like Caitlin's probably it. Like if I had to, people are like, if you could do a deserted island, I'm like, actually, if you had to be on a deserted, I'm like, had to be. I would love to be. Me and Caitlin for the rest of our life, I would be pumped. Like that would not be a problem.
That's awesome.
But I think that's the big difference.
Yeah. I actually feel like I want to hang out with my wife. Like I want to go and do stuff. Like I want to play a game. I want to go eat at a restaurant. I want to go see a movie. I don't just want to like have sex. That's not all you know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's end this podcast and go hang out with our wives.
Babe, what are you doing later?
Hanging out with you, baby. Okay, well, let me ask this. Do guys desire romance the same way women do? And now that you're married, what does romance actually look like to you?
All right, I'm going to go. I don't know that you can just say guys, because I think guys are varying, right? Like I know guys that like love the romance of it. I know guys that don't. I would say when you have kids, it changes a ton, right? Like romance doesn't look the same. When you have the price of a date night triples with childcare and everything else, right? Or doubles or whatever. For Caitlin and I, it looks like vacations. Like we get away quite a bit. You know, like we went away, say we're recording this podcast and it is February. It's February? Oh man, it's been
15th.
a whirlwind. We went on vacation in August. We're about to go on another cruise. Caitlin and I try to get away probably every 6 months. And we have found that to be a really good rhythm for romance with kids, because when you're home, it's just very hard to do that. Even like we try to do date nights regularly. But even a date night, most of the time, if you're in town, you're rushing back to make sure the kids get to bed or whatever. And so you have to find ways to romance. It's not like we only have it every 6 months, but, you know, so you have to like really work for it. I would say that Caitlin and I are pretty similar, where we love a nice romantic moment, but also those change and they adapt based on where you're at. Like what we're able to do now is not what we were able to do when we were dating at 19 years old or 20 years old. Like I remember one time I had like set up this like picnic and we had music and we were dancing on the river. And like now both of us would be like, oh my gosh, that sounds awful. No, don't do that. Like I don't have the energy for that. It's so romantic to just lay in bed and watch a show. Like there's changes. So I don't know that it's a guy thing. I think it's probably a personality thing. And I think you grow together in it.
I agree it's a personality thing because my wife will be the first one to say, I'm not someone with super high emotions, super strong emotions. I'm pretty level most of the time. And so actually for me, I enjoy romancing her more than I enjoy being romanced.
Yeah.
Like I actually like to go and create something that she's really going to enjoy more than I care about her doing something that I think is romantic to me.
Gosh, don't we all wish we could be married to Aiden? He just says
I literally
just like everything he says. I'm like, man, he's
things
awesome.
don't work out. Like, no, I'm joking.
Jeez.
Aiden, how old are you? 22?
22.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, no wonder you got married at 22.
You were built for this.
Yeah,
You were
literally,
built for this.
both of
Yeah.
you
Or you're
guys.
lying
Thank
about
you.
yourself.
Thanks.
One of the two. I don't know. I guess we'll know in
Social
20
media,
years.
it's all fake, right? Yeah, I apologize to all the men out there who have now to live with this fake creation that I'm
I know,
creating.
you're like, there's guys watching like, bro, shut up. Stop answering questions.
I'm literally in Aiden's shadow.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me ask this. How do you guys feel most respected by your wives? Because they say that women want love and men want respect. So how can a wife show respect for you?
I think for me, there's a certain, I really feel satisfied. I'm going to bring the word satisfaction into it. And I think I use that interchangeably with respect. Whenever there's an acknowledging of maybe what I bring to the table, but that's also like that would be like one of my strengths is that I'm actively thinking how am I going to make life easier, make life better, be prepared for hard times. I'm always thinking through those things. And so I think to me, just the acknowledgement that it's like, hey, I see you. I see what you do. I see what you're doing for our family. I see how you're thinking in advance. And I really appreciate that. That's super helpful for me. To me, it makes it feel like me as a man, like I'm doing my job. And I guess that could probably vary, family to family, relationship to relationship. But that's how it would be for me. Like the acknowledgement that I see the weight you're carrying, I value the importance of it, and our family wouldn't be the same without you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good would you say Ellis is doing at that these days?
It's not fair.
Carrying weight or
Acknowledging
Or
I mean,
your
acknowledging.
contribution.
Ellis does very, very good at that.
I
She
bet
really
she does.
does.
I do better at acknowledging than
You could have
carrying
given
weight.
a funnier answer there for the people, but that's great.
Oh,
Ellis is
Ellis?
great at it. No, you.
Ellis, no,
You could have been
dude.
like,
I call
it's
my
kind of a
mom
2
if I
this
want
week.
affirmation on how I'm doing.
That's crazy. We're talking about that later. We're bringing that back
That
up.
question
Welcome to
is
marriage.
further down.
This is what it is.
That's crazy.
I would say that you pretty much hit it on the head for me that I feel respected when I feel like I'm actually allowed to be a leader in our marriage, because I feel like that is an actual role of a husband as to lead the household. It's a biblical idea. My wife is very smart and capable and could easily be an amazing leader herself. So when she actually chooses to just say, okay, let's do your idea and not ask me questions, that makes me feel like, oh, she trusts me as a leader. That's awesome. I can actually do my role and I feel like I'm doing a good job and I feel respected. And that makes it actually easier on me and makes me more focused on doing things that I feel like are going to be the correct decision for her and for and they're going to be helpful for her and are going to make her feel safe. I would say it's hard to want to be a leader if you don't feel like that the person that you're helping to lead actually wants to be led by you.
I don't know how to answer it, to be honest with you. I don't know that I've thought about that ever. I don't know that Kate and I have ever had an issue with this. I think we both have had a pretty high natural mutual respect for each other from the beginning. So it hasn't ever been
Like you don't ever feel disrespected or undervalued.
I can't
or-
remember ever. with
Cole, you have
Kate.
so much respect for yourself.
You don't need her respect.
I think you respect
I don't need you to
enough for
approve
both
of what I
you.
do, woman. No,
The fact
I mean,
that it's so true.
I don't ever remember having a moment where I go, "Oh, I'm feeling unvalued, unrespected by her."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I hope she hasn't felt that for me. I don't think she has. I think we have a good balance there. So, Yeah, I mean, I think, we have, I will say Caitlin and I both have a relational freedom that I don't see a lot of people have where like we will make decisions and then inform each other that we made them. And we're both good with that.
Yeah, high trust.
Like we're both good with, so I guess I would say that in general, where we'll be like, both of us will go, she'll go, hey, I got this thing tomorrow night. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll say the same thing to her, and we're both good with that. I think that probably comes from we both know each other wants to be with each other. And so if we said yes to something, it matters, But now I'm probably just rambling so I can have some type of an answer for this question because I still really don't know what I would say. So
The interesting caveat that just came to mind, I feel like the whole how do you feel respected implies that you can feel disrespected, but saying to your wife, I feel disrespected by you is actually you accusing her of being disrespectful if that's not actually her intention. So it means you're assuming that she was being disrespectful and to some degree when I don't think that's really the case in a lot of circles. Maybe it is for some people.
sometimes,
I hope not, but
yeah, hopefully not.
yeah.
Let me ask this. What is one fact about men that you think women should understand better?
We are really only thinking about one thing.
Even Christian men.
Food.
No, at a time. I'm not saying sex. I'm not making a sex comment.
Oh, sorry.
That wasn't a sex
At
joke.
a time, at a time,
At a time. It's not a sex joke.
Tex-Mex.
Like I can remember so many times early on in our marriage where she was like, what else do you think? What happened? Like, we're really pretty simple.
Yes.
Like, I don't have a more deeper explanation of the conversation. My 3-minute explanation is all I can recall. It's
and all that I'm
actually
thinking.
true. I'm not withholding something back that I'm consciously aware of. I'm actually telling you what my brain thinks happened. And it's that simple.
Let me say this. I'm going to call this narrative maxing. I start building up stories more, even though I don't have more to say.
Just so she's satisfied with your
Just
answer.
so she, that is a sacrifice that I've decided to do. I'm like, babe.
Let me find details. I'm
I'll
just going to take notes of details.
I give her appetizers. I'm like, babe, you're not ready for what I just saw. And she's like, come home, daddy.
That's so
Sit on the
true.
couch and tell me.
MJ, well, she's constantly telling me, she's like, you'll get home from work or whatever, and I'll ask you how it goes, and you go, good. And that's all you have to say.
Oh, I love
because
that
that is all I
answer.
have to say. It was good. I don't have any thoughts about it. It was good. I'm fine. You know what I mean?
We
It
want
is-
more words.
I
So
know.
I'm with you on the I need to just actually think about, okay, what is something that happened? I can tell her a
how
story.
can I-
What is a story
what
I can tell her?
adjacent happened? You know my neighbor? He's in the other office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is funny. Okay,
I heard.
let's move on to a new section. And this is on choosing, quote, the one. Okay. Let me ask this. Someone left this comment on our YouTube. It says, is it true that a man just knows that she's the one, or is that a myth?
I knew. I can't say that my experience
gonna
is
say
everyone's
myth.
experience. I don't know that would be fair. What'd you say, Aiden?
I was going to say myth. Then so you said I knew.
Well, no, I don't think it's a myth. I don't think it's fact or fiction. I think it's different for people.
Case by case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what I was looking for. I saw it in Caitlin right away. I had dated in high school and was never really interested in the girls I was dating. I was always pretty bored with them and like, I knew within a month of Caitlin, I love her and I want to marry her. Like I did know. I also don't know that it's got to be that way for everybody. I think it was that way for us. I think I said at the beginning, like the thing that drew me to her the most was our calling. We did, I always, from a little kid, pictured being in ministry with a wife where we preached together and we led together and we did ministry together. And so when I met Kate and realized that that was on her life too, that was a big deal for me, right? Like she's attractive. I'm attracted to her. As a Christian, maybe a little too much. And, I had all of these
Go into that.
What do you mean?
all of these qualities. And then I watched this gift on her life and this calling, and I go, oh yeah, she's it. I've never seen anybody like her. I don't know that always has to be like that. It just was for me.
I don't think Cole has to narrative max. Like I think he actually has
I
the
do.
words.
This still isn't enough sometimes.
that makes like a female satiated. I'll say this.
Don't take that out. Don't clip that out.
That's funny.
That's the preview clip. I did not know that I knew, but let me tell you what I did know. I knew there was no other girl like Ellis. I knew that I had never met someone quite like Ellis, and I knew that we had high compatibility. And I also knew that there's no one, including my parents, on the record, for the record, that I trusted more than Ellis. Like Ellis really, and she was in a league of her own. Like no one.
Ellis just agreed with that. She was in a league of her own. Ellis goes,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I really.
I watched him date other people, and I was like, he's gonna figure it out.
What a wash up. No. That's awesome. And so I think that informed the knowing. But I mean, part of our larger story is I was very afraid of commitment. I really wanted a word from God. I wanted him to split the heavens, come down and tell me what to do.
Right.
And the Lord forced me to be single or make a decision.
Yep.
And that's what I needed. You know, we're all different.
Yep. It's a great answer.
I would say the knowing was I knew that she could be. It wasn't that I knew she was. I knew that she had the things that I was looking for in my wife, who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, who was somebody who's actually going to build me up into the person I felt that I was on track to becoming, who was going to support that. But I would say it's over time. It was probably like 6 months where I was like, all right, she's the one. This is it.
Yeah, that's so good.
Well, and I think what Aiden says dead on. I think this is important to clarify probably. I don't believe that there's the one that the Lord decided that he picked for you. I think that the power of the choice is really important. Like she became the one when I chose her and she chose me. I don't think it's like God's got the one and if you miss the one, you're in trouble.
Or if you marry the wrong one, it'll never work.
So I think they become the one when we make that choice, when we chose each other. So I don't know everybody's language on that. I felt like I should say that.
Yeah, that's really good. Let me ask this. What types of fears or struggles, and Daniel, you touched on this, but what types of fears or struggles did you deal with while dating? And how did you overcome those to prepare for real commitment?
Should we get really serious again? My turn to get
Let's
super
get serious
duper
again.
serious?
Let's do it.
Okay, so fears or struggles. For me, having battled a porn addiction and having struggles in my past with that, it meant that when I was I was getting married, and I had been walking in purity for a year, for months, and with counseling, I had been good for a while. But it meant that I was like, oh, am I going to actually like be able to do intimacy well with my wife? Am I going to bring a bunch of crap into our sex life when we get married that is pulled over from that? And so that was something that I was like, that's a part of my past where I'm like, I don't know how that's going to impact our marriage. And so it was really important for me to learn and to talk to people who had walked through that journey themselves and to be like, what do I do with this? And how do I do this right? And thankfully they were like, the fact that you're asking the question means you're going to do it right, which is really, really comforting. So yeah.
The fact that you're asking the question means you're going to do it right. I like that.
I don't have fears, so go.
Fears? Real fear? I'm a very particular individual.
Mm-hmm.
And Ellis is a strong individual.
Mm-hmm.
She's a strong, independent woman. She does what she wants.
I mean, you literally said it. Like that is accurate down to the tone. Like that is who she
you act
is.
like I don't know Ellis.
No, well, here's the deal. You didn't know single Ellis because her maiden name was Rock. It was Ellis Rock.
Oh, and you had to switch to Madry?
I know. Shut up.
Bummer. I don't believe in taking the wife's last name, but maybe.
That is,
Rock is still
I
in
am
there.
against taking the woman's last name, but you should have
That was
considered it.
that's a
This is an
power
exception.
name.
Yeah.
Daniel Rock and Ellis
Daniel
Rock.
Rock.
Oh,
Oh
my
my-
gosh.
I'm gonna need to
I
ask
might
Chris,
change
is it-
my last name to Rock now just
That is
because
a
I know it's
pastoral
possible.
last name.
I'm still
Literally?
Ellis Rock. I'm just Ellis Rock Madry now.
Yeah, she's like,
Ellis
Nice.
Rocked Madry.
Wow.
Wow.
So I was a little nervous about how those two forces would come together. I think now hindsight, what really alleviated that is Ellis has a lot of trust in my decision making, and she knows that I'm very thoughtful about the way about the decisions that I have made.
Yeah.
So I know that whenever she challenges something, that it's with foresight and intention, and there's a reason behind it. It's not just two worlds colliding. And so we've done conflict very well based off of that. But I was a little nervous, and I tried to get, and I gave her a heads up. I was like, babe, I know you like TV. I hate TV. You like this? I hate that. I want you to know, like, if we get married, this is who I am. This is who you're marrying. I tried to scare her out of it because I was scared. And she was like, I get it. And that's why she stopped watching as much TV.
I do watch less TV now. That's for sure.
You've been.
I didn't even own a TV until like a year before we dated. I didn't own a TV in my 20s.
Oh, you're so holy.
I didn't care. It's
All right,
because the
whatever.
Lord
Anyway.
came
That's
to me in a
great. You're
dream
so
one night
spiritual.
and convicted me about.
Oh,
No, I'm
That's
joking.
not true.
man, Daniel's just so holy. It's amazing.
I told her that if we were going to get married, she would need to read the Bible every year on my Bible reading plan and fast 21 days at the
Wow.
beginning of each year,
Wow.
once a month.
I actually fast 42, so
Wow.
I don't know. I thought
And
that was
listen,
important to.
but you probably,
Wow.
babe, someone could be more strict.
He's
I'm
holier. He's
joking.
holier. What about you, Cole?
I mean, that
Any
was
fears?
for the record, that was 2 decades ago. So this is
Yeah.
a little bit hard for me to remember. I would say the biggest uncertainty came around her parents and being able to win them over. They did not like me for very good reasons. I mean, when she met me, I was literally sleeping on the floor in a guy's bedroom on an air mattress. I drove a car that barely ran and was working as a waiter at a pizza restaurant, and I had just got kicked out of Bible college. So, for the record, if Chloe tries to date,
Goals?
Wow.
if Chloe tries to date someone like that, I am like, no, this ain't happening.
You've got question marks too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
so,
a double standard in my mind.
so I get, so I think, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to win her parents over or get them to approve. That was probably the biggest one for me that I can remember. And, I think, I've got a great relationship with her parents, and I did not make their daughter homeless. I think that helped. Pretty sure that was a big reason they have put up with me is their daughters had a house. So,
Praise God.
yeah, it's a great thing.
It helps.
It does help.
Sure
Let me
does.
ask you guys this. What are some things you wish someone would have told you before you got married?
I said this a lot when we were engaged. We heard a lot of people when we would tell them we were engaged and getting married, they meant good things with this, but they were like, oh, it's hard. Just so you know, it's hard. Like, I want you to know that it's difficult. It's like, that's awesome. Is it fun or good? Like, is it good? Do you enjoy it? And so I wish more people would just have been like, oh, that's amazing. That's exciting. You're going to have an amazing time. And lots of people did say that, but I feel that the sentiment was more people, and rightfully they want you to be ready and they want to help you be ready. But if you just go in thinking it's going to be difficult the entire time, I mean, I think yeah, exactly. You're not going to be a very fun person to be married to for a while.
I still remember the one
That's
person
great.
who told us when we were engaged, marriage is the best. You're going to love it.
Somebody
There was
said-
one person.
Somebody said it's the best thing I've ever done, and it's also one of the harder things I've ever done, but it's the best thing I've ever done. And I felt that was a better response than just it's hard.
Want me to go next?
Yes.
This is your podcast.
No, I don't know that. I feel like I was pretty sober minded going into marriage.
Yeah.
But I also got married 10 years after
yeah,
you guys.
you were basically
Like,
an
I
old
was,
man.
Yeah, I
when you
had
got
gray
married.
hair, like a
Yeah.
401k. Like,
I think what Aiden said is great. It's a good answer. I think, it is a ton of fun. I would say, our story has been well documented on the Let's Talk About It podcast. Going in, I wish I would have been prepped better for sex may not be what you think it is at first.
Mm.
And that it's okay for that to be a discovery journey and it doesn't have to be fireworks right away. I think for Christians in particular, there's so much pressure on the sex thing that we then force ourselves into things on the honeymoon and early on. And then there's nobody to talk to if it's not going well.
Mm.
And we felt, our first 7 years were horrible and we had nobody to talk to about it
Mhm.
because everything was like, sex is great, isn't it awesome? And we're like, no, this is horrible. This isn't it working. And we're doing it twice a year. And this is, so
7 years is a long time to struggle through that silently.
it really, to be clear, we're Zix. Nothing is silent.
Well, that's fair.
We had asked plenty of people and talked to plenty of people and anybody willing to answer. But I wished there had been, there really isn't any, there's a better way to say this, forgive me. I wish there was sex coaching, not people coaching you on how to have sex per se, but people that
like mentoring.
mentoring and going, hey, when you get married, you could experience this, you could experience this, you could experience this, you could experience this. All the above could be normal and none of them mean that you're something broken,
Yeah.
right? I think it would have helped us earlier in our process to go, it doesn't have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Because especially doing what we do with MR, I've heard stories of people that were like, We did it 3 times on day 1, and it was we were both virgins. Amazing. And then I've heard of people, it was so painful on day 1, we haven't done it for 5 years.
Wow.
Like, like you have this vast array of experiences, and it's kind of presented as if everybody does the same thing.
Right.
You go on your honeymoon, you have sex, it's great, and now you just do it like rabbits. And you're like, well, that's actually not true either. So I think if I could go back, I would have loved somebody to go, hey, you might be experiencing one of these 5 things or whatever, and here's what you can do when you find yourself in these spots.
That's actually the perfect segue to the next section of questions, which are all about purity, sexuality, real life stuff like that. So someone asked, do you think women are being unrealistic if they don't want a man who watches porn or masturbates?
No.
Watches or has watched? Because that's not the same thing.
Okay, so make the distinction.
Well, I mean, has watched means this was a part of their past.
Sure.
And if they have gotten freedom and redemption from it, and we don't believe that, then do we even believe in the cross?
That's big.
Right? So there's
good.
There's definitely, like, I love what Aiden said, that like he had been clean from it for a year, which he's talking about it openly. Here's my journey. I've been working on it. Accountability, counseling.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would say that a man that's honest is even more trustworthy in a lot of ways, because he had to learn painful honesty to get free. He didn't get free hiding things or covering them up. Right? So I think there's a big part of it. Caitlin and I would say our story's reverse. I have never seen porn. You guys know that. Caitlin was sexually active in like 7th grade. So I had to believe in her redemption before I was able to get married to her, because she's got a long story of people that she had been with. And I think that we discover really quick if we believe in redemption. Now, I will say, still in it is different, right? Covering it, hiding it having to be discovered, not being repentant, not being open. Those aren't the same thing. Having watched and are watching are very different.
I would just take it even further and say if you are still in it and you're even getting counseling or being open and you're going through repentance, but you're still working through that process, I would still wait. Even though you're getting to a better spot, I would just say you're not there yet.
Why?
Not that you won't
I think
be
it's
there.
important for you to speak to that, Aiden.
Why is because I feel like if you're in this process, there's a couple of things. One is it's a very raw process, and you're going to be going through a lot of change in the sense of like how you learn to do self-control, how you learn to do accountability, and your standards for those things are going to be changing quite a bit. So your expectations as far as those things go in your life, like when you're married, like my wife and I are like, we want to have pastors that we talk to about our marriage that we know, that we trust. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, it's scary because when I do it with this porn thing, it's hard. Like, and she wants that. You're still getting to a place where you're learning about yourself in that. And I would also say, having to be in a relationship with somebody where you're wondering, oh, are they doing that? Are they in sin right now? Are they sinning? Like, and you get married to that person, and then you're going to be like, well, what are they doing when, they're free, but when we were dating, like they would say they're free and then this would happen. So is this happening again? Like what's happening? You know what I mean? So
that breeds a lot of insecurity and instability in the relationship.
Yeah. And not out of like a purposeful, like they're being dishonest, but just they're still working through having that measure of self-control and accountability. And if you can't trust that they have that when you're in your dating, when you're married, it's gonna be tough.
It's really good. Did you know that even non-Christian psychologists now recommend 12 to 18 months of porn sobriety before you get married?
Really?
Wow.
Because of what it's doing to rewire the brain.
Yes. And then that's what you said earlier. Actual marriage intimacy versus porn.
Not even close to the same.
Not even close. Like incomparable.
Not even intimacy.
No.
You're going from intimacy to non-intimacy.
Exactly. So if you come in with those expectations, you haven't actually worked through what the wedding night might look like, or you don't know. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard.
Someone asked this: what are your strategies for purity when you're not able to be sexually intimate with your wife? So, for example, she's sick, pregnant, traveling, etc. Like there's extenuating circumstances that could keep a couple apart, even in marriage. So now that you're on the other side of that, what would some of those strategies
It's all
look
you
like?
guys been married
Cole.
for 6 months. She doesn't go anywhere. So
She doesn't go anywhere. She's not allowed to leave the house.
hasn't left yet. So it's
I
all
haven't
you guys.
permitted her yet. She's untrained still. She cannot go outside.
That's right. We have one car and I get taken to work. So
She's on house arrest.
I probably have a bit of an unpopular answer here, so
Oh.
take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a counselor or a psychologist either. I want to clarify that. If sex is about the connection, I don't believe this is a problem. Personally. Kate, we're apart right now. She's on a trip. Can't wait for her to get home. Like, I love we've been apart sex. I mean, it is like the best. But the desire that has built is what makes it beautiful, and one of the things that makes it so great. And we aren't just, there's this old song from when we were kids, maybe when Daniel and I were younger. Me and you, we ain't nothing but mammals. Let's do it like they do it on Discovery Channel.
That's it.
It is such a lie. We're not just simply animals. Like,
I think they say mammals.
that's what I said.
Okay, but you said animals. Sorry.
Right,
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
but
yeah.
just
I forgot
animals in
we
general.
deviated from the
important.
lyrics.
Yeah, mammals. Sorry, but I really believe that when lovemaking is just that intimate lovemaking, like I go right now, Caitlin's gone. Like I don't want to go masturbate. Like I don't want to go satisfy myself in some way, shape, or form. And then when I get into understanding why God designed intimacy and lovemaking, I mean, it's the only relationship in my life that I have sex with. I mean, as close as you are to family, you don't do it with your parents. You don't do it with your siblings. It's even gross to even use that analogy. You're like, someone's watching going, oh, exactly. Like it's the only, your spouse is the only human you chose. Parents were chose for you. Children are chose for you. Siblings were chose for you. You got to pick your spouse. And then God said, what I bring together, let no one separate. Sex, we have now discovered psychologically, is the bonding agent that causes us to be irrationally and erratically connected to them, where we will throw. I mean, you just think of the teen movie with the 16-year-old girl that goes, I hate my parents, I love my boyfriend. There's some chemical reason behind that. And sex is meant to be that bonding agent. And when I go, okay, an orgasm was created to bond me to my wife in a way that I'm not bound to anybody else. When she's gone, I don't want to give myself an orgasm. I don't want something I see on a video to give it to me. I don't want something I see anywhere else. I want to I don't want to rob my wife of the opportunity for us to give that to each other simply because I couldn't control the flesh part of my desires. Now, it took time. Like I think early on, we have sex more than we've ever had it in my marriage. I will say that. We've been married for 19 years. I mean, we do it way more than we were doing it before. Like,
thank you for sharing that.
yeah. Well, I'm.
That was actually my next question.
But I want to get at something though.
Yeah.
Early on in marriage, when we weren't even having it as frequently, it was like the moment she was gone for 3 days, my brain couldn't handle it. When I look back, I realized I was so focused on the sex of sex, not the connection of sex,
Wow.
that when she was gone, my brain was like, I need the sex of sex right now. Now, I don't want unconnected sex. Like, I don't want an orgasm that's not in lovemaking, in intimacy with connection. My brain has become renewed and rewired where I want the connected version of it. I don't want the other version. And so it's become a much, much easier journey when she's away.
And I think practically, if you're not able to have sex, if there is time apart, you're talking about, I want sex for connection's sake. I think communication is the bridge. It is the medium for how do I feel connected and not sexually out of control or, anything like that. So I think, to Cole's point, that is the next level of connection, is that communication. And then beyond that, the ultimate expression of intimacy being, sex. So I think there's still a great level of satisfaction through, hey, I'm opening up. I'm letting you see. Here's my thoughts. Here's the things that I'm not talking to anyone else about. Here's the thoughts I'm not sharing with anyone else. And that bond right there can take you far.
Yeah, that just level of connectedness.
Right.
Yeah. Someone asked this, does a Christian virgin man have anxieties about the wedding night like a bride might?
I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to say no as well.
I did.
Really?
So I got married at 22. Caitlin's the only one I've ever been with. Never looked at pornography. There was a very real point. I'm looking around. I go, I knew guys that were masturbating 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, addicted to porn. Everybody's having sex. Pastors are having sex, and we're finding out about it. And like everywhere I looked, everyone's addicted to this thing I've never done. And I was like, oh man.
Am I broken?
Am I broke? Like, do my parts not work? Am I gonna have everybody else is ruining their life for this thing and I don't even feel like I want it.
Report back. How are we doing?
I mean, we're doing great.
We're doing all right.
If you just rewind 5 minutes, you'll.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I mean, I for sure was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work for me. And so there was for sure that a bit. For us, it was definitely a long journey. I, at one point in our marriage, thought, oh, well, maybe this is why the Lord never let me get addicted to sex or masturbating, because I'm going to have to marry a wife who can't have sex. And so I guess this is my lot in life. Like I had accepted that about 5 years into marriage. I would have never imagined we could be where we are now. And I am happy to report everything works great. So
what was some of that breakthrough like?
I mean,
Because you paint two very stark realities that you've lived in.
Yeah.
And something had to change.
Yeah. I mean, a lot has changed. We've got a couple podcasts on 8 years ago?
No,
Scroll
we
back.
deleted them.
Forever. Oh, you did?
No,
Okay.
I'm joking.
We did not delete
Let me
them.
get to that.
We scrubbed
the short
you guys.
story is this. We tried to have sex on our wedding night. We could not do it. We didn't have sex our entire honeymoon. Very, very physically painful for Caitlin. We basically trudged through sex the first 4 or 5 years, discovered that she had extra tissue in her vagina that created a ton of excruciating pain. We had that surgically removed. The physical pain was gone. And then she discovered, oh, it's not just a physical pain problem. I don't like to be touched, because all of her sexual experiences from 7th grade to about 10th grade were very, very painful sexual experiences. She wasn't raped. She still to this day would say, yeah, I wasn't raped. Even as rape is, now we're understanding it better and we're having better language for it. She would still say, yeah, it wasn't rape, even now that we know better of what to call things. But she goes, I just was in a lot of sexual experiences that did not, I didn't want to be in them. And I felt socially pressured. And so her brain, the statement she would make is, I knew lust for so long, I didn't believe love was real.
That was her association with sex.
Right. Her association was lust. And so now it was like, I'd touch her back and she'd tense up. We would try to have sex. We'd try to make love. It would end with us not. We're both crying. It's emotional. It's frustrating, horrible experience. Finally, one night, she's sobbing after we're done, and she just gets online and looks for a Christian sex therapist. She gets into counseling. She goes through a year and a half worth of counseling. For those 18 months, we weren't intimate at all. The counselor asked at the beginning, like, hey, for the next month, can you guys remain, like, can you not have intimacy? I'm like, well, we're barely having it anyways. No problem. Well, that month turned into 18 months because she needed to rewire and reset. And so she goes through the rewiring, the resetting process. She does a thing called EMDR. I think now they call it brain spotting or mapping or something like that. And she got free of that. And once we got through it, it was like, oh my goodness, I don't hate this. Like, this is great. She still went 2 years without having an orgasm. It took us a long time to get it to the point where she was enjoying it and she experienced that. And so all those little details probably aren't super critical because everybody's story is different. Here's the thing I would say. Don't settle for less than God's best. God wants you to have a completely fulfilled, beautiful, intimate, lovemaking and sex life. And if it's in marriage, yes, in marriage. And if it's not that in marriage, it's really, really critical that you don't settle for a lesser version. And if I looked back at our journey, I go, yeah, we didn't settle. And now we've been married for, again, 19 and a half years. I would say the last 9 have been incredible. Like
That's
the second
great.
half's been awesome.
Praise God. What would you guys say is one piece of advice you would give single men preparing for marriage, sexually or spiritually?
I mean, I think we touched on it a lot with most of the conversation, just making sure you're walking in purity, obviously with your sexual life. Spiritually, I would say this phrase that somebody said it, I can't remember who said it, so I'm going to pretend like I made it up. But if you can't lead your own life well, you're not going to be able to lead another person's life alongside you.
So good.
Right. I think it's once again more of the spiritual side of the answer. I think it is beautiful to be able to lead by example. You hear some of the most kind of tender stories you hear about are, kids who woke up and they're like, like my mom, I always walked in, she was reading her Bible every morning. Or people who would hear their parents pray or their dad. And and I think kids can always kind of anchor that, like, wow, my family really had a faith, like a faith expression outside of we just went to church. And so I think that if you as a man are starting a family, then you've got to take that part of your walk more seriously. Where you're like, man, where is my Bible reading? Where is my prayer life? What am I willing to sacrifice for my faith? Where are my priorities whenever it comes to church and being a part of a body? Am I willing to trust God, with the tithe? Am I a generous person at heart? And I think going into marriage, you want to come in super, super solid in those areas so that you set the tone for the relationship.
Yeah, I would say one of the probably the biggest things for a almost married single guy, dive into Ephesians 5 and understand what that means. That's the scripture where it says, wives submit to your husbands and husbands love your wives as Christ loves the church. Really, really, really critical scripture to understanding our roles. Now, people love to harp on the wives submit to your husbands, that thing. If you really understand that scripture, it is a much more terrifying calling to the man. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church, giving himself up for her. If you're not ready to give yourself up for her, you're not ready to be married. He even using the example of to the point of the cross. Like he's saying, husband, it's my job to be a picture of Christ to my wife. And so pre-marriage, like that's the thing I've got to go, I need to get my head around that. I need to know that I'm ready to love at that level. I need to be ready to love my wife like Christ loves the church. He paints that picture like I am to her what Christ is to the church. What is Christ to the church? He's kindness, he's compassion, he's protection, he's covering. He defends adulterous women and flips over tables. Like he has this way of being so many things to the church. He is the redemptive. I mean, he's the reason we can be redeemed. And so it's a really weighty scripture that gives, now I will say 20 years in, I'm still not fully ready to be that, but I hold that in front of me daily as a husband. Daily, have I been Christ as much as I can to her today?
That's so good.
And I think that's a really important scripture to sit in and study and understand.
What would you guys say keeps marriage strong or ongoing?
Aiden? What's really got you guys through? What has brought you to month 7,
6 months,
Aiden?
yeah. What has got us through to month 7?
Slump was hard.
Ongoing. I mean, you've got ongoing for 20 years.
Again, I don't know that there's one thing. I'll just share what has been valuable for us. Time, making sure that time together matters most. When you have kids, it's really easy to think that kids are the most important thing. I'm going to be just really clear. The children are not the most important thing. They aren't. Our relationship with each other is the most important thing.
Do you tell them that or do you keep it a secret?
Oh, they know it. I mean, I don't think I need to tell my kids your matters more to me than you do. That's not helpful for anybody, right? Like I've never said that to my children. My children know that how much their dad loves their mom, though.
That's good.
They see that. They know that. They know how much Caitlin loves me. They watch how we prioritize spending time together. They watch how we love being together, how we go on a vacation or two a year. Now, if you know me, I'm a deal getter. We get most of them for free. Like the cruise about to go on was free. But because it's a high priority of ours. And so I think that the things that have helped us a ton is getting time away together weekly and yearly. Like we spend time together regularly each week, and we don't make apologies to the kids that we're not going to be with them tonight. We're going to go be together, and we're not going to have mom, dad guilt. We're going to, like, this is a really important thing. And I mean, we've been doing at least a 7-day vacation without our kids since 2014. And my youngest is 10. So we've done it with babies. We've left babies at home with family members. We've just got off nursing. We've left 1-year-olds at home for a week. We left them all at home for 2 weeks when we went to Europe once. Most people, I can't do that. The mom guilt, the dad guilt. The mom guilt or the guilt or the dad guilt might be the thing that pulls you apart if you don't get it in check. Because it's really critical for us to be together.
That's good. Babe, could you remind me of the question? Because I feel like I had something, but I want to be refreshed.
What keeps marriage strong or ongoing?
Yeah. I think one of the things that keeps marriage strong is, I'll say, a growth mentality. Like if you had all the tools going into marriage, you know, like what left is there to discover, right? You're like, I'm an expert at this.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's great.
You've got to continue to grow. You've got to continue to adapt. I think supplementing that is a good dose of humility, understanding that I don't know everything. And I don't even know if I know what is right. And hopefully we're making the most informed decisions that we can with what we do know. But I love it. And I think it's 1 Corinthians 10, 11, I don't know, it could be off, but it says, brethren, I don't want you to be unaware. Why is that? Because we're so often unaware.
Yeah.
We just are. And I think going into it, like, I'm unaware what the best thing for my marriage is right now. I'm unaware. And it's having that teachable spirit from mentors, from, trusted voices, from the Bible, being sensitive to the Holy Spirit, feedback from your spouse. And I think living in an ecosystem like that really positions you to be able to make these micro adjustments throughout the year, and sometimes macro adjustments, but these adjustments throughout the year to where you can say, we're more connected than ever. We understand intimacy better than we ever have. We're prioritizing our life better than we ever have. This is good, and it's only going to get better. I know that we're striving towards growth and connection.
That's awesome.
Can I tag on that real quick?
Please.
I would just tag on that having something that you're building outside too of just your marriage is helpful for us. I know it's like we both have, we're at the early stages of our careers and things that we're doing. Having things we're building together, like where do we want to go? Like what can we build together? And then having each other as a support system for that helps our marriage be strong, because it actually is the place where we land on for comfort when things get hard, rather than being like this, like it's just stagnant. You know what I mean?
I think building with your spouse is an incredible strength. It's a unifier. It's a and you get
it can be a divider.
You've built with your spouse
multiple times.
It's because y'all co-lead. I'm the boss of this. No,
Okay,
I'm joking.
That's where I went wrong.
No, but I think working on things together and I think it makes the celebration a little deeper whenever we succeed together. And it's like, obviously it's super noble. Like Ellis ran a marathon 2 years ago and I went and supported her. Babe, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. I golfed 116. She's like, babe, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't know the score. She's still learning. No, I'm joking, but obviously,
the higher the better, right?
Right. I had the highest that day in the entire course, probably
Great
the highest
job,
the course
baby.
has ever seen.
Wow. You set a record.
Go, babe.
Yeah. I love it.
But celebrating each other's wins are great, but celebrating a joint win, it also puts some just,
Wind in the sails.
Yeah.
Let me ask this. How can a wife most effectively communicate with her husband?
I actually need like there's a whole I'm not a mind reader. That's like that gets thrown around, but it's very true. It's like I actually need you to be like a little specific about exactly what you're needing and what's going on
Yeah.
in order for me to be able to do the right thing. I mean, not to do the stereotype, I think men just are a little oblivious and unaware sometimes. I think it's fair to say that.
I think that is a stereotype for a reason.
I think so too. Yeah. So I think specificity is fine. I think sometimes there's an idea in culture where they're like, he should just know that if he really cared, like he would know what to do. And that's just not true. To be fair, like I care a lot about my wife, like a lot, like the most important person in my whole life. Like, and I still don't know sometimes exactly what she needs or wants or how I can best communicate something. So
a lot of wisdom for 6 months.
Mr. 19 years, you have anything to add
No,
there?
I mean, I think that's a great answer. I don't have anything I could add to it. I think, just saying what you think and being clear is really, really helpful.
Yeah, I really think it is that simple of just not holding back. I think it's easy to hold back thoughts to think I'm going to protect, I'm going to protect the relationship by not saying what I actually think. And maybe there's some wisdom to that at times, especially if you're like, I know I'm off base here. But really, I think you're preventing connection a lot of time by holding back what's actually inside of you. And you've mistaken, oh, I don't want to rock the boat for I don't want great connection.
Which is the perfect segue to this next question, which is the next to last question. But it's what kills connection the fastest in marriage?
Yeah, I would say not communicating specifically what's on the inside. So there's a difference between like, hey, did you go to the grocery store today? Hey, how old are those avocados? Hey, do we need to do this? Do we need to do like there is I think people mistake communicating for communication. Yeah. That's deep. Communication is what is on the inside of me that no one is seeing?
Yeah.
What are those thoughts? What are those even desires? What are those, hey, I'm feeling a little nervous about this. I'm feeling hey, you hurt my feelings when you said this.
Right.
Saying what's on the inside of you actually creates connection. That took me a minute because Ellis and I were both good communicators, but specifically I was not good at communication where it counted. And now I've overcorrected and
And I hear about it all.
yeah, I hold nothing back.
No, you don't.
Well, and I would say with this, I think goes right along with it is assumptions can hurt connection big time. And that comes from lack of communication.
Yeah.
Right? Like assuming you know their motive, assuming you know why they did what they did, assuming you know what they were thinking or why they were thinking it or making an assumption.
Yeah.
That will create a ton of distance. Yeah, I think that was the question, right?
Yeah. What kills connection fastest?
Yeah. So I would say communicate and don't make assumptions.
I would say too, this is for the men who might be listening, I am not a fan of this sort of cultural stoicism thing that's kind of going throughout young men. It's like mostly online, but it's probably happening in real life a little bit too, where we have this idea of like all emotions are bad. I would rather not tell her something that I can just put up with. You know what I mean? I would not encourage people to just,
What a statement.
He said that. I would not encourage people to just like put up with things, even if it feels small. I mean, if you're putting up with 100 small things, that is going to build up and it's going to explode.
Definitely.
Like,
That's an army.
Someday something is going to set you off and you're going to go,
albeit.
yeah. Someday you're going to go this and also this. And now that I'm thinking about it, this, and this, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would not just do the bottle up. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, okay, let's sit down and have a heart to heart about this. Just say, hey, I didn't like when you did this thing. It just wasn't great. And I'm sorry. Okay, it's over.
Also, what kills connection? Being overly critical.
I thought you were pointing at Cole just now.
This guy over here.
Yeah, I think being overly critical is like
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
it can really kill connection because it just breeds the I'm not good enough.
Yeah, so true. Okay, last question. Let's leave it on a high note. What's something about marriage that is better than you expected?
I think I said at the beginning, just the day to day. Just every single day, I get to come home and see the person who I most want to be with, who's the one person that when I don't want to be with anybody else, I still want to be around that person. getting to watch a show, getting to do things that we love together, process life together. Yeah, for me, it's that, the day to day.
Awesome.
I would probably say kind of what Daniel spoke to a minute ago is winning together. You know, Caitlin and I have been in ministry together for 20 years. All 3 of our ministry stops have been us leading together. And it is really fun to win, to do things together that you both are pouring. Like, I would say this last 2.5 years has even been my favorite part of it because, like, it feels like we're literally rebuilding something from ash and we're doing that together. And, you know, to be used by the Lord collectively is a pretty awesome feeling for us. It's probably unique because not everybody gets to work together with their spouse. But, you know, I think that's probably my favorite thing that I don't know. Like, I always knew I wanted it to be this way. I don't think I had a grasp for how great it would be to do it together.
Yeah, I think the multiplication facet of it, where, and this is kind of going off of what Cole's saying, but I felt like I had really maxed out my single life, and whenever we got married, you didn't just join my single life and then we were doing this, but you brought a multiplication to our relationships, a multiplication to
your problems.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably true.
Has anyone been elbowed in their sleep lately? No one? No, I'm joking. But I think about you're the reason why we're here right now. And that's something that I could not have done by myself. And it's good to know, Daniel, you did as much as you could do solo, but there's some things that you would never experience. There's some beauty you would never experience unless you partner yourself with someone else and allow them to fully walk in self-actualization. In fact, it's funny because whenever why are you smiling?
He's been over there giggling the whole time you've been talking.
Keep going, because I think
Chill,
you're probably
bro.
about to say what I'm laughing about.
This is the funny thing. Whenever I asked Ellis's dad, I was like, "Hey, General, hi."
He is was a former general in the Air Force.
And I said, you know, I just wanted to call and ask if I could marry Ellis. Sorry, we were like multiple states away. Needed to call. Time was of the essence. And
He was proposing 2 hours later.
and obviously babe, chill. Cut that. No. And obviously we had known each other for a while, years actually. Me and her dad. One of the things he said is he's like, absolutely. He's like, he's not the sappy type. He's not the whatever. He's like, I've never said this, I don't think. He's like, I think you guys were made for each other. He's like, the way y'all compliment each other, all this stuff. He's like, I just have one request. And I was like, yeah. He's like, don't hold her back. And I was like, I can do that. I can do that. I mean, because he knew the potential she had, and we very easily could have just, partied on what I wanted to do. And I think, one of the most beautiful things about marriage is how much of the world it opens up whenever you get to let your spouse fully be themselves, fully walk in their callings, and not suppress and or make them conform to a I would say a lesser life if it's in your shadow.
Okay, Cole, tell us why you're giggling.
Go ahead. Go on.
We've moved on from the moment.
Well, guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping in, sharing your wisdom with us, and thank you to all of you for tuning in. Thanks for submitting your questions, and we're gonna keep doing shows like this where we crowdsource the questions and have people on to answer. And so we hope it blesses you. We hope it encourages you in your season. And until next time, this has been Let's Talk About It by Moral Revolution. We'll see you later. We do this show for one reason: to equip you to walk in wholeness and freedom. We're not here to preach at you. We're here to meet you where you are, to ask hard questions, have awkward conversations, and pursue God's design for sex and relationships together. So if there's something that you're wrestling with, a topic that you want us to tackle, or a question that you've been afraid to ask, leave a comment and let us know. This isn't just our show, it's yours too.